There was some beef in my last comment section, and you know what? Bring back the beef, okay? More beef, less peace. This one just says, we'd rather have avocado on toast than buy a house. Was this written by a millennial? I think so. It's nighttime in England and I hate it. I don't know, I actually really like living here. That was clickbait. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So that last video went... I was not expecting that. We have a lot of new friends potentially joining this video, unless this one flops. That'll be really embarrassing that I've just said this in this video. Anyway, because that last video seemed to resonate with a lot of people, I thought that I would talk about reasons why people don't like living in the UK. I love living here. So I'm gonna be defending all of these points, and like, I basically just like found a Reddit thread and like want to react to all of it, and because people just like say really wild things on Reddit. And I also did find an article from mylondon.com, so you know it's legit, okay? If you've never been to my channel before, subscribe. Oh my goodness, subscribe. I have a podcast, Oi Mister. We have 2 episodes. I have a Shop My if you like anything I'm wearing. This is 100 years old from Abercrombie. I had this when I was 15, so you can't buy this, but I have other nice things from like partners. So if you clicked on this video to sort of get the tea about the UK, you might be looking to live here if you're a student. That's how a lot of people find my channel. So if you are looking to be an international student, one of the trickiest things to sort of navigate when you're going through that process is finding a place to live. So that brings in our sponsor for today, Amber Students. I have been working with Amber for over a year now. Really enjoy it. Maybe it's 2 years. I don't know. I said that 1 year one time and I was like, that can't be right. I think it's longer. In another country, real estate markets can be extremely hard to navigate, especially if you are coming from abroad. Most of the time you have to already have an address and a bank account to be able to even sign for something. So a lot of students opt for international housing provided by universities, but if that's something that you can't do, or if you're a master's student, or you don't want to live with freshers, then I will say freshers is first years. That's the cool lingo. I will say that Amber is an amazing option, and it will link you with properties all across the UK. Amber is a leading accommodation specialist worldwide. They offer 24/7 support with verified listings. Amber is amazing because you can start by discovering properties on their website, sorting by location, price, amenities, etc. And they also provide community reviews, 3D room tours, and full-time support. The best part is that they handle the online rental contracts and allow for instant bookings. So basically what that means is they're gonna handle all of the tough paperwork for you. When you're moving abroad, there's so many overwhelming bits about it. There's so much paperwork to file, there's so much visa stuff to figure out, bank accounts, credit cards, phone numbers, all that kind of stuff. So having a company like Amber sort of take the reins for you on your housing can be a really big stress reliever. If any of this sounds interesting to you, please check out the link in my description and in the pinned comment, and they help over 300,000 students a year. So if any of this sounds interesting to you, check it out. All right, let's get into the video. Spicy. Ooh, I hate the UK. Ugh. Like, I've uprooted my whole life, done my education over here, like, filed for so many visas. Do you know how much I paid for my visa? Good Lord. So I just thought that I would Google, I love England, by the way. Just like, that's the tea. If you don't know who I am, I live in London at the moment. I live in a place called Fulham. I just like it here, okay? So this Reddit thread I found is sort of like US people talking about why they would want to move to the UK and why they wouldn't. So it's sort of like, I found this one comment that's like a pros and cons list, which I think is really interesting. So the biggest con about moving to the UK that I don't think I was actually really fully prepared for, and it's that the salaries are so much lower here. Like, it's a job that, like an entry-level job for a student right out of the gate might be something like 45K a year, but over here it's going to be more something like 25, which is a really big cut. But I will say the cost of living is, well, they are in a cost of living crisis. It is generally like less, and you can travel for less, you can get your education for less, and there's basically public health. So if you already pay into the NHS system when you get your visa, then you get free medical care. I went to the GP the other day for the first time, which was crazy, and it's free. Like, you just rock up and you're like, hey, can I have help? And they're like, go on our website, maybe, but it's free. I had a consultation. Didn't pay a dime. It was crazy. Oh, a lot of this Reddit thread is also talking about the new visa rules. If you don't know, the visa rules, the white papers came out a couple of weeks ago, and they are not good. They have just basically upped the amount of time that people need to be living in the UK in order to establish residence, and they also upped the pay level, which is sort of frustrating a lot of people. You can do some reading on that. Like, I'm not gonna get into like immigration stuff on my channel, even though it does directly affect me. That's definitely a little bit tough about moving here, but I can't say anything too, because America, our president's trying to ban international students, so I don't know what's going on. Oh, okay, this one says the weather is really terrible, but it's rarely dangerous. No hurricanes, tornadoes, blizzards, mudslides, wildfires, but it is depressing. Yeah, I will say November through February, I'd say like you still have like the Christmas spirit in November, December. You're kind of chilling, maybe even a little bit through January. But I would say like January, February, miserable months everywhere. But there's something about like January and February in London that is just so deeply depressing, because you just like don't see the sun. That's the thing. Because the sun sets so ridiculously early. It's like basically getting dark by like 3:30 in the afternoon. It's always gray. Like, it's not actually that much colder in comparison to the US. Like, I grew up in DC. It's like we had days that were way colder than anything I've ever experienced here. And I even lived in Edinburgh, and we had stuff that was like way, way colder. Although I'm sure if you went into the Highlands, probably you'd get cold. Anyway, yeah, it's just depressing. Like, that's a good word for it. It's just like you never see the sun is the thing. Like, it can go on for like weeks. So when the sun does come out, like it's so funny. It's like my favorite thing about the UK. It's one of my favorite things about London, is that when like the sun comes out for like even like an hour, like at the pubs. Okay, I literally just had a panic attack and thought my camera had died. Because it just went black for a second. Everyone say a prayer for my little cam. My little cam. Okay. I forget what I was talking about, so we're gonna move on. Okay, now people are talking about Brexit. I don't really know much about that, to be honest with you, except like student issues. Okay, and this article is 17 things that make London the worst place to live debunked. There's no green space. Yeah, that's fake. There's so much green space in London. That's like one of the things that I love most about it. Sorry, my roommate's making dinner. There 100% is so much green space. I live in Fulham, so much greenery. Across the river, Putney Heath. There's a common everywhere you go. There's so much green space. That's dumb. No, there's so many trees. It's beautiful here. Oh yeah, and this is saying that if you're in zone 1. So if you don't know about London, so there's like zone 1 is like the tube map. That's like the center of London. That's like where all the touristy stuff is. Then you go like zone 2, zone 3, zone 4, zone 5. Yeah, zone 1 is like the really busy like city part. But like I live close to the city in Fulham, but like it's literally like a neighborhood. Like it's so incredibly different, and there's so much green space. So yeah, I agree with that take. Everyone is stuck up. Everyone in London has more money than sense, and they are judgmental if you're not like them. Londoners expect the best of the best and look down on other areas of the UK as inferior. The truth. This is completely untrue. I mean, I can't speak for every single Londoner, but the ones who don't know, in fact, they often rave about these other places, have to offer that London doesn't. As one of the most diverse and inclusive cities in the world, Londoners are very accepting of everyone in my experience. Yeah, I mean, I think there probably is that. There's probably like this sort of idea that like everyone from London is very posh and very like stuck up. That's definitely a thing that has existed, and that's something I have seen. Like, it's not something like that I'm like ignoring, because that's true. But then there's also like, yeah, Londoners are like some of the most accepting people that I have met. I think that's really true. Like, it's very progressive here. Like, there's just a lot of stuff that you don't have to worry about. Most people are like pretty chill about like diversity and like having inclusive spaces and things like that, and it's, you know, it's full of art and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, of course there are bad apples everywhere. There are going to be sexists and racists and, you know, all that kind of thing everywhere. Next one, nights out are so expensive. Yeah, they are. Yeah, okay, this is the claim is that you can't go out in London without spending £100 or more. Club entry, the prices of drinks, it'll be difficult to get home afterwards, so you need to factor in paying for a taxi too. I have never once paid for a taxi. I sometimes enjoy a cheeky night out on the town. And there's such a thing as pre-gaming, which saves you money, which I never do this, to be fair. Like, I rarely ever do this. A couple of times. It's London. But, you know, you have some drinks at home, then you go out, not hard to do, And yeah, if you're going to like a really hot club, which I'm never going to a really hot club because I am me, I bet you can already tell how bad of a dancer I am from this video thus far. It's really quite bad. But there are so many places, like so many pubs and like chill places that you can get a cheaper drink. Like, you just have to know where they are, is the thing. Oh, this is talking about Spoons. Yeah, you can go to Spoons. I don't know if that's like a hot night out. This article is interesting. Yeah, okay, also the thing about taxis. Who is taking a taxi? I have one time taken an Uber from a party that was late because it was gonna take me like 10 minutes in an Uber and it was gonna take me like over an hour and a half at like midnight to get home. So I was like, I'm just gonna take an Uber. That is the only time that I've ever taken an Uber home at night. I just won't do it because there's night tube, there's night bus, like you can always find a way home. It might be a little bit longer, but honestly, the night buses, they really whiz through. Like that's a little scene in Harry Potter with the bus going so fast. Honestly, yeah, because there's no traffic, there's no cars on the road, so they whip on by. It's a little frightening to be on a night bus, I'm gonna be honest. Don't fall asleep on them. Living is so expensive. This is saying that it's a fair claim. Yeah, I mean, yeah, London's expensive. The tube is disgusting. No, the tube's not disgusting. It depends on what line you're on, to be honest with you. Like, there are lines that are like a little more gross than other ones because they're just older. But like the tube is actually like really efficient, generally full of like normal like business people. So you don't have to worry about usually you don't have to worry about like crime on the tube or like it's nothing. It's so clean compared to the New York City subway. Like there's enough like the general experience of like going into the subway is like there's gonna be some sketchiness that happens, but like there's really none of that on the tube. I wouldn't say none, there's the rare occasion, but it's rare. At least my experiences. Nowhere is safe. I don't know, I live in Fulham where it's really, really safe. There are safe areas. There are very, very safe areas. Honestly, I think I had maybe like 2 times where I felt unsafe in London, which I think in comparison, I used to live in Charleston, South Carolina, like I would feel unsafe like maybe on the daily. So it does feel comparatively very safe here. Like I was like screamed at by people on the street a lot in Charleston. Like people would just like run out of nowhere. You would hear things and loud cars, and it was an open carry. So like I just find it very peaceful living here and very safe. But obviously there is such a thing as like knife crime, and there is crime that happens. Everyone is very rude. Londoners have no manners. They will push you over if you're slowing them down. No, not true. We have places to go, people to see. And if you're standing on the wrong side of the escalator on the tube, that's on you. That's not on us. I can claim that now. I feel like I've lived here long enough. This one just says, we'd rather have avocado on toast than buy a house. Was this written by a millennial? I think so. Most of us exclusively eat from Pret. True. Everyone loves Pret. Actually, this person's trying to debunk that, but I believe in that. Everyone loves Pret. Everyone says, look, a Pret. And then they all go to Pret. And that's the story. Yeah, I hope this was interesting. I hope that this, like, maybe gave a new perspective to, like, sort of my life here. I apologize. I'm so tired. I'm filming this literally after work. Like, I'm gonna, like, do a vlog and, like, explain, like, what my life is currently like, which I think will be interesting. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, I have a bunch of other vlogs of living in London and other things, like, other content. You know the ones. I'll put a playlist. Oh my goodness. Okay. And you know what they say? Godspeed. And God bless. There was some beef in my last comment section. And you know what? Bring back the beef, okay? More beef, less peace. Check out Amber, Shop My, all the things in below. All right, Lisa says to have fun.